larger pouches. He has 2 sidearms, drop leg and pancake. The former was his wife's. They watch the dog drink, and their sweat begins to dry. The younger man removes the bikini cover from his scope and checks the bolt to safety. "Stay," he whispers to his dog. "You're going to stay." He could be deer hunting, putting the sneak on some muleys. "Fudd gun with Fudd optics," the older man says, and removes one of the 3 rifles from his bag and slips it from its sock. "I can link to my phone," he says, tapping the stubby scope mounted on the rail. "I need you on my 6. With the jargon. I'd feel better, though, knowing. The first sign of fear lights his eyes. "Fine." The older man lifts his pack like a suitcase from the carousel and goes through the broken mouth of the spillway. "Stay," the younger man repeats to the dog. "You stay." He sucks a mouthful of water from his camelback and lifts his pack by the loop, and careful of his rifle barrel, ducks low through the gate and easy climbs down from the concrete ledge and onto the bed of the dry reservoir. Above him the moon is the tarnished head of a carriage bolt. They nestle into the rocks. The older man pulls on a stocking hat, then takes the Bushmaster and switches on the scope. With his phone in his lap, he syncs the 2, passes the younger man the phone. He uses the rifle to scan the lake bed and the house and compound beyond, shakes his head and passes the weapon over in exchange for the phone. "This is how you switch modes." "Okay. Show me." "I got it." "Doesn't look that way," the older man says. "Are you with me right now? I need you here. Nowhere else." "Death is my co-pilot, and we're cruising for death." "I'd rather you were crying again than talking that nonsense. You need to get your head right. We're doing this." He rises to his feet and adjusts his vest and his weapon, pats down his pockets. "You need to stop." "I'm good." The older man grunts his approval, nods his head. "I'll see you shortly." He follows the dry channel from the boulders and stirs up a cloud of dust. From there he's on flat ground, one step after the other. Then he's crawling up the crumbling bank to the shore. The ancient barbed wire is parted, and he strolls upright and leisurely toward the main house. No available cover, a field of stumps. He's swallowed by the shadow of the ridge, and the younger man puts the scope to his eye. At the chain-link security fence, the Technicolor thermal blob in the scope cuts the wire and slips through. Unblinking, sweating, the younger man lowers the scope and waits for the crack of rifle fire. Because after that, he'll be alone. He can't watch. He can't help but think of her. It's the dog that's nudging him. He lifts his head and pets the dog and scans the lake bed with the scope. He searches the road and the darkened house and outbuildings and is temporarily blinded by the runway lights coming on. But there are still no lights in the house or on the road. No warm bodies. He switches modes on the scope so he can see the runway. Nothing moves. The dog lifts its nose to the wind. The older man surprises him when he returns by way of the floodgate. "I doubled back and checked the road. We're good. Motion sensor tripped the lights on the runway, but everything else is down. Place is a shit show. No security. Beer cans, bonfire down to ashes. Drunk bastards." He extracts 2 cans of warm beer from his vest, passes one over. "Let's get settled in before you open that." They spread out among the boulders and set their lanes and rests for their rifles. The older man has his big bag open and extra magazines stacked in groups by caliber. He puts his focus to the .50 caliber, but he has his M4 and a SOCOM 16 ready to go if they need to move. The other man only has his Remington 700 and an extra magazine, 2 tattered boxes of shells. They open their beers, cheers, and drink. The runway lights blink off. "I have whiskey,"